So today, uh, I want to first encourage you to continue to practice on those eye shapes. I wanted to kind of jump around here to something that I uh, had been really uh, hammering home with my students, and this is about it's yeah it's face shapes, but it's now I want to get into something a little bit different with that. I know I gave you these staple shapes and all that, but what I want to do is give you an understanding of two different shapes, okay, that you're going to be using quite a bit, but we're going to kind of dissect them down to where you have they're a definition versus you know, like when we did the eyes, we defined them by the way they felt. Well, the face can be drawn kind of similar in the same way. Now, what the two shapes we're going to talk about today are going to be uh, a triangle, a person that has a triangle shaped face, and a person that has a diamond shaped face. Okay. Now, these two shapes are very common with women, even though men can have these shapes as well. But when I draw caricatures, I always make my faces lean toward these shapes. Okay. So we're going to talk about each shape. We're going to talk about what the definition of that shape is, so that when you're drawing, when you notice certain signs, like in the eyes of that feature of the face, then you know that this is what you're looking at. For instance, we're going to look at this face here. All right, with the triangle shape, we're going to just put it. We're going to drop it down here, and there's going to be certain characteristics. One is, and you'll notice it is going to look kind of like the bullet shape that we was talking about before. This is they're going to have a rather medium to short but wide forehead shape. Okay, so I want to make three different shapes here. One, they're going to have strong cheekbones. You see the cheekbones and how strong they are on her
Yeah,
face?
yeah,
Okay, that means her cheekbones are going to normally go outside of that shape and protrude outwards. Okay,
mhm,
and then you're going to have a tapered or V shape, or a uh, well, I guess we could just call it tapered chin
yeah,
shape. So it'll do something where the shape here
yeah,
actually is within the cheekbone. So it's going to be that's what I mean when I say tapered. Okay.
yeah,
So if we had to separate it into different shapes, it would be wide, it would be some cheekbone, and then it would be some type of tapered shape here at the bottom. Okay. Now, when
yeah.
we now by understanding what this triangle shape is, we need to demonstrate it by using a person that has a triangle face. So what we'll do is we'll use her face. Okay.
Just a question.
Yes.
Do you start with the eyes and build the face off the eyes?
Well, you can if you like to. It all depends on which one's comfortable for you. Like I said, there's no. I don't want you to get into systems. I want you to get into more of an instinct. So,
Oh, no, that's good.
so instinctually, you could. There are two ways you can approach the caricature. Okay. So let's say we went with the eyes first. So she has small eyes that look kind of like this right here. This is the shape of her eye. 50-50, a little 50-50 action, right? And then this is like the top of her eye, and then you can see this. Now, if you use this particular way, yes, you can, because what happens is I want to show you how these cheekbones work, and it's really gonna straighten some things out for you. When you start drawing the face, you're gonna start to see a rhythm to the face, like dancing. M-T-H-M and and rhythm. Okay. Anyway, so let me show you. All right. So you'll notice how the eyebrows do like this, right? Okay. Well, the cheekbones come off of that shape like this.
That's right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And then this shape kind of comes in and goes off of that shape and connects back in here. So you'll see a rather long nose shape here, like a, right? And then you'll see that if we keep, see how her cheekbones almost come with, they come inside of the face like this. So from here around, okay, generally that's where you're going to see the mouth shape come to, right? You get what I mean?
I do,
So
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
so there's a, so that is a, that's a rhythm that the face is following. Now when you get up here, right? Because now you got your, you got your, I'm doing this in very dark lines so you can see the point. This is not for drawing etiquette or anything right now. It's just so you can have an understanding. So now that we have our shape doing like, you know, coming like this and going around, okay. Now we're looking at a wide shape here. Okay. So when, because this shape is within itself wide and tall, her head, see how big her forehead is? It's very
Yeah,
wide. So what I would do here is I would take some of that shape out and then I can add roundness kind of to the shape. You understand? Like that.
I do. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
And then we would have obviously her long chin shape and her shoulders here. So this would be like a little cartoon, you know, of her, whatever. But
Yeah.
the thing is that we want to we first of all let's try to let's practice that together. Okay. So again, I'll put my paper here. And if you need to use a pencil first to get comfortable with it, that's okay.
No, you're right.
All right. So if we're starting with the outside in or inside out, it doesn't matter as long as you know where to catch in at. Okay. So here again, watch. We got one cheekbone, one, two cheekbones, two. Okay. Now you'll notice at the end of her cheekbone, there's a little drop like this, which there's a little drop off here. You see how it kind of goes in and it drops off into her chin?
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Yes,
like
yes.
right here, and it goes,
I
then
was
it
going to
goes
ask you about that. Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So that is something I kind of minimize in the drawing, but with her, it's very prominent. And then what we want to do is on the outside of that shape, remember now we want to build our bottom shape. So we want to come down, we're going to come around, we're going to come over, we're going to come back up, and then we're going to kind of just feed back into the line like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Not a
Now,
prominent.
what we will do here is from somewhere not right on top of this line, but somewhere around right here, because we want this line to feed. We want this shape to curve in the face shape and then kind of back in the face shape, right? So from here, this is where we're envisioning that triangle shape or that wide forehead shape, okay? Meaning that this part of the head should be wider than this part of the face because it's a triangle. So you get what I mean? So this part of this up here, if you want to start it out further in the cheekbone, you could. I actually could have got away with starting it out here and coming up more. But as long as it's wider than the bottom part of the face. Does that make sense?
Does, yes.
Okay. All right. So once we have our head shape here, based off of the definition of that shape, then we can begin to watch how this feeds into the cheekbone. See?
Yeah.
And then watch how this also feeds into
Yeah.
the cheekbone, right? And then this also feeds right into the cheekbone, but we can see a definite ear shape here.
You're trying to draw?
Yeah, he's on a call to Texas.
Oh, nice.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Does that make sense? So let's see if you can
It does.
manipulate. Let's see if you can do that.
They all are,
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And then from here, quite naturally, we'll go ahead and then we'll add this shape. And then what I look for here, you can see how her cheek, her collarbone is like really, really high up. So it kind of comes down. This kind of weight comes around like this, and then her collarbones are very high up, almost like they're way up here. And then it kind of just comes off like that, you know. Okay. 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 All right. Now, once we have that, now we're going to look at obviously our features. Again, we know based off of where this is and the top of this cheekbone is, that as long as we kind of angle it in relation to the cheekbone, right? You can see we get a likeness. See how we angled it in relation to the cheekbone. So it gives you an anchor point for your eyebrows. Okay. So let's just put, I'll go here and I'll put anchor point. Okay, for your brows, for eyebrows. Okay. All right. And then quite naturally, we're looking for now our nose. Now also a couple of things that we begin to understand is that our nose shape is usually going to be within the cheekbone shape here on this situation. So you'll see that the nose shape is kind of at the bottom of the cheekbone. You're looking at the nose in relation to the cheekbone now. So it also gives you a good marker or indication as to where to place your nose shape in relation to the cheekbone. So we're going to put nose in relation to the cheekbone. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
also see the triangle from the eye down to the nose up to the other eye and across.
Right. Yes. Yes. You can see that. You can see.
If you look at it, you can see it.
Yeah. You can see it all the way. You can see it like if you did this.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like this, and it fits within the cheekbone now. So you're not trying to measure in relation to all of this space. Now you're using the cheekbones as pretty much a way to play off of things. And then you can see here if you come off of this part before it drops down, look where it's coming from. It's going down like this, right? So now all we have to do is go down, 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 down. Now we're giving ourselves a line to put lips around.
Yeah. It's so obvious, isn't it, on that one?
Yeah. See? So we have these two different, we have our triangle for our eyes and nose.
Sorry, but that was just so obvious.
Right. And then we also have our mouth placement that helps with when we look how to use this shape. Okay. So now when you are using this shape, Mick, all right, we're not going to get into the features because we don't really need to, because this is about this particular shape of the triangle. I'm going to, as far as when you start your homework for this, I'm going to give you some faces that you're going to draw or attempt to draw on your own, but you're going to be using the triangle, this shape, because I'm going to give you faces that are already triangle shapes. You don't have to guess what shape they are. Now, let me explain something else to you. So when you get into caricature, obviously you use the word exaggerations a lot. Okay. So
Yeah,
when you understand the rule of something, that means you understand how to bend that rule. Does that make sense?
it does. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
So if I take this paper and I put it aside, I'm just going to cover this up for a minute because it's not really necessary. All right. I understand she has a in order to draw a person that has a triangle face shape, okay, I have to give him a wide forehead. I have to give him defined cheekbones. I have to give him a tapered chin shape, okay? So if I'm exaggerating, the strongest point of this particular head shape is what? The cheeks, the
The
cheekbones.
cheekbone. Yeah.
Exactly. So watch what I can do because I understand the rule. Doesn't matter what I do, I cannot miss. This looks a little bit more animated, but I can't miss. Okay. This one I made fun of her, but it still is and now we've exaggerated this head shape. You can exaggerate it whichever way you want. We can do we can do like this. We can make the forehead super wide. As long as we taper it when we get in here. Now I made a different version. Okay. It's still going to look like her as a form of a cartoon. This is what animators do when they are drawing or designing characters. They give it a definition, how to build that character. And now, if this character has this particular head shape, they already know this is how I exaggerate that head shape. As long as I play within the rules, I can bend those rules to make extreme versions of that person. Now, I generally don't go extreme like this on my caricatures. I usually stay, this is I would say from a 1 to 3, I would say I usually stay about a 1 or 2. This would be something that is extremely exaggerated, right? Like if I was,
Mm-hmm.
watch. See? It's extremely exaggerated, but it still looks like her. As long as I get the head shape right, I can't miss. But it all starts from you understanding what the rules of that head shape are. Okay? Does that make sense?
It does. Yes.
Okay. So we have 2 head shapes we're going to discuss. So I want to go ahead and go to the next one. Now, the reason I put the triangle shape together with the diamond shape, so we have triangle and diamond, is because they are interchangeable. Okay, there are small differences between these shapes. The small difference is this. Okay, when you use a triangle shape now, okay, you're going to have the rather defined cheekbones, right? And you're going to have the tapered chin shape. Okay. And to what degree, again, that you make the cheekbone strong is up to you. You get what I mean? So
I
it
do,
doesn't
yeah.
have to be super defined. It can be something very subtle like this, or it could be something very extreme like this. Okay? That's up to you how you do it. All right? But
So
what
it's my
happened?
perception of what
Huh?
I see. It's my perception
Yeah,
of
your
what I
perception of what you're seeing. The only difference between this and the other one is that at the top of this one, usually you're going to have a narrow chin shape, right? And a narrow forehead shape or a narrow skull shape. For instance, this is do it simply. This is narrow, this is defined, this is narrow. Is it
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? So this is
Yeah.
for somebody like if we're drawing but with the other one, remember, this is wide and short, this is defined, and then this is narrow. So the head looks a little bit more, a little different. Are they they are in a kind of interchangeable in the fact that if you want to take some weight, some less, if you want to add less pointiness to the chin, or you want, like I said, you can get if you see a person with this shape and you guess wrong and use this one instead of that one, you wouldn't miss that. You still could get a really extreme likeness to the person, because it would just look like you exaggerated one or the other. You exaggerated this to be that or this to be that. It's almost like two people that look alike, but they're kind of different. You know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody
Okay,
says that I look like, like I look like Denzel Washington a little,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah.
but not really. Right? That's what so what we want to do now, let's find somebody with that extreme in their face. So we'll use this guy. Okay. So actually, you understand that this guy here, he probably fits into this head shape. So, or you see what we did here? We could draw a cartoon of him by simply adding a wide forehead shape here, but you could also use a thin one. Okay, you could do something like this, right? But watch when you add the hair in. Kind of can be him. You see?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So that could kind of fit into that category. So let's try to go ahead and do that. I'm gonna do a quick little cartoon of him. So we're gonna use the diamond shape here. Actually, you know what? I think a better diamond shape would be this one. Let's go to okay. When you see a diamond shape, you see that her forehead, you see how tall it looks versus wide. It looks taller and thinner. It looks thinner, right? So when I do her face, see how her cheekbones are strong, but not as strong as a diamond shape. They're strong, but not super strong. You know what I mean? So you could just do a curve. You can use a curve, or you can use you know what I mean? Whichever one you want for your cheekbones, right? And watch again now, if you want to form your head from the middle, you already know once you do them cheekbones, right? Watch this. You know my eyebrow is going to go here and here for sure. You know my nose is going to go here for sure, right? Or whatever. We know our eyes are going to go somewhere in here, right? For sure, right? Somewhere in here. And we know that our mouth has got to go from here to here. See? Because it's feeding off of the cheekbones. So now all I have to do is taper it. Right? And make it tapered and thin here. And add some ear shape. And a neck. Whatever. Okay. You see how you know where everything is when you use this method, because you can't get lost. The nose is always inside of the cheekbones. The eyes are always in between the cheekbones. And the brows always feed off of the cheekbone. And the mouth always feeds off of the cheekbone. It's a circle. A circle. Get it? See?
Mm.
It's a circle. It's a circle with a circle with a mouth hanging off of it.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the line from the nose, it's the cheek, really, isn't it? How they go into the nose and then down and around
I'm talking about this, and then it goes here, and then it goes like that. And see how that even feeds back into this shape.
It does, yeah. That's what I was about to say. It forms part of that shape.
Right. It's all about it's a rhythm to the face. And once you start seeing the rhythm, then you can dance. Right? I don't know. I don't know. I just that was a boom boom. That just came up with that. I don't know. But so what I would like for you to do, we're going to use those same two models. Okay. So we're going to use this model here, which I already drew this because I actually here we go. Watch this. Just real quick. All right. So here we go.
Wait.
Okay, watch. I don't get lost now because I know where everything goes to. Now, generally, I would have did that. I wouldn't have put that in the face because I don't like to use those lines, but you can if you want to. You know, it's still.
I'm not. It
I like to make them with gray. You know what I mean? Versus the black. This way it
Yeah.
doesn't look so powerful. You know what I mean? Okay.
I just thought it's a fairly predominant feature in her.
Yeah, it's very predominant. So it does it.
But
Then your cheek, your dimples also feed off of that shape. Everything feeds off of the cheekbones. So
yeah,
the reason I did that so fast is because I know you're going to watch this video and you can copy behind me. I wanted to make sure we got it in there. Okay. So this is what I want you to practice. Okay. And we already have a bunch of other notes and good stuff inside of this already. So you can go back and review those notes. And then also, so we're going to use that face, which is already in this video because I'm going to take it and just edit it. And then we have, what was our other lady? Oh yeah, she was already in my, she was already in my gallery. And this, lady here. So we already did her face too as well. We just did a different type of version, but we use this as her picture, right? So we'll just do pretty much it's the same thing. That's the eye that you did yesterday. Remember, see how simple that eye is? And I'm going to tell you, mate, I literally just started studying this with the face shapes, and it changed my approach to caricature. It literally changed my own approach. So I just I couldn't wait to share this with you because I think that that's going to make a difference in the way you draw your faces. So I want you to, again, I'm going to practice these two faces. I'm going to send you maybe one more other face if you can get to it. Don't worry. If not, that's okay. But definitely when we meet next Tuesday, I'd like for you to have these two pictures. Just draw your own versions of them and just kind of demonstrating your understanding of these two shapes. And then after the next class, I'm going to introduce you to two more shapes and we'll talk about them in the same context that we talked about these. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I don't want us to get cut off. Hey guys, I hope that you enjoyed that video tutorial. If you did, don't hesitate guys to go ahead and give us a like. Also guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and the notifications button. This way, when we put up new material, you'll be the first to know. If you have any questions about our markers or pens or paper, and you'd like to know where I get some of the materials that I use here on my art stream, there's a link in the description below, so you can go ahead and check that out as well. And also guys, we'd like to welcome your questions and comments so that we can get some new ideas. You know, it's always good to have new, fresh ideas for our next and upcoming videos. Oh, and don't forget to check out these two super cool videos right here. So guys, thanks again for your love and support of our channel. You guys be safe out there. And as always, guys, I wish you happy cartooning.